Welcome to another episode of Campus Conversations, the Shawnee Community College podcast. This week I am joined by two students. They are the president and vice president of the LGBTQ Plus Club here on the Shawnee Community College campus, Aaron McMahan and Elena Hammer. Both are here today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
And I should have jotted this down. I forget. Aaron, are you president or vice president?
Vice president.
Vice president. Well, let's start with the vice president and talk to me a little bit about yourself. Who is Aaron McMahan?
I don't know. Who am I?
Where are you from?
I'm born and raised in Siena.
Okay.
Yeah. What else? I don't know.
What brought you to Shawnee Community College?
Well, originally I went to a different college that was huge, and the classes, in my opinion, were way too much. It was like 500 of us to like one teacher, and I didn't like that. I wanted to be more one-on-one. So after 2 years there, I came back down here and came to this college.
And what do you like about, obviously it's closer to home and the smaller class sizes, but talk to me a little bit about what makes Shawnee tick for you.
I like the community. It's more close-knit, so you can actually build relationships with not just your teachers, your fellow classmates, but like with the staff. And I really enjoy that because I felt like with other colleges that are really big, you don't have that support.
You're not just a number, you're an actual person. And Elena, talk to me a little bit about your background, where you're from, and what brought you here to Shawnee College.
Well, I'm actually from Siena as well.
Okay.
I went to AJ, same as them, and one of the main reasons I came here is because, to be honest, the going to a 4-year immediately after high school did kind of intimidate me, and I was kind of told that like, hey, you should probably go to Shawnee first, and then take your generals there, and then whenever you go to a 4-year, then you've already kind of taken care of the main classes, and then you can focus on your majors. So, yeah, that's me.
What are you wanting to study and eventually go into?
Right now it's creative writing. It
Okay.
could always change, but that's kind of the one I've been set on for a while.
What do you like about writing?
Just like the idea that you can just create anything. Like you can just think of something and jot it down, and then like it's just this appears. Like it's just.
What do you do? Blogs, or what kinds of things are you writing?
I did take a creative writing class with Miss Fontana, and we did do a bit of poetry and like stories and stuff. So kind of like that maybe. Like things like journalism has been brought up to me, and I'm like, oh no, maybe, but like I think what really interests me the most is like stories and like stuff like that.
And you're the president of the LGBTQ Plus
Yes.
Club. Talk to me a little bit about the club is relatively new on our campus, so I don't think there's a whole lot of awareness about it, and that's part of the reason why I wanted to have you guys on the podcast is to talk about the club, and also it is LGBTQ Plus History Month as well. So we're raising some awareness here and bringing, putting some faces with this club, this organization here on the Shawnee campus. So, Elena, kind of talk to us a little bit about, as president, what do you see for the club, and how do you recruit and reach out to new membership?
Pretty much what I say the club is all about is community and trying to bring people together. Like you don't even need to be in the community itself in order to join. It's mainly just to get people together and pretty much just have a sense of a place, like a safe place to go. Like this, where you can be yourself without any judgment or whatsoever. That's pretty much the gist of it.
Aaron, what are your thoughts on the club?
The club is not just for people who are are gay or bi or stuff, but also for the allies. We want to build a community inside of Shawnee with ourselves and like the students, the staff, the teacher, like everyone, so we can all have a safe and growing place for each other. I'm hoping through this club that everyone can find a safe place to go, because it is hard around here, knowing it's really a small community, and all the small towns don't have the option to have because there's like a Rainbow Calf in Carbondale. There's like resources in Carbondale, but there's not really any in Anna or Vienna or Massac. There's none. So I'm hoping that through Shawnee College we can make it and help in the community and schools.
Talk to me a little bit more about that, and certainly don't want to cast any stereotypes or nets or anything along those lines, but you did mention, Carbondale has the Rainbow Cafe. The community there probably larger and more diverse in terms of student population at SAU Carbondale, and then even in the high school system is there as well. Tell me a little bit though more about the importance of feeling safe and being accepted. I think a lot of people who are not in the community or not an ally of the community take for granted that they can go walk down the street and be themselves, be their authentic self, and not worry about being judged or, in some cases, being hurt because of who they are. So talk to me a little bit about the importance of why everybody wants to be accepted no matter what you do, but tell me a little bit from your perspective as a student here at Shawnee College, why it's important for everyone to at least accept the fact that there are people out there that are different.
Well, we all are raised differently, but I feel like around here we're raised in a small, not I won't say small-minded, but in like a narrow-minded way, like one way. So we aren't taught about it, or we don't learn about people of the LGBTQ plus community. So when we meet someone, we do end up accidentally judging them because we're not sure how to react. Like we've never been in that situation before, so people are kind of scared and confused. So, and I know Anna, my senior year, finally got our GSA running, our Gay Straight Alliance Club running, and we had major issues. It was the first year. We had many threats happen, sadly, from students and parents. And I get it can be scary, the change, but I felt like that was exactly why they needed to happen. Like, we needed these clubs to be around so people could have a safe place, and so we could teach if people want to get to know and understand what it means, so they aren't scared.
What does having a safe place mean to you, like definition wise, but then also as someone in the community, what does it mean to have that safe place?
A place to go, people to talk to, like people to come out to. People who can understand you, or at least can empathize with you, understanding what it's like to be considered different around here.
Elena, talk to me a little bit too about, and I want both of you to weigh in on this, but this, in a lot of areas, especially here in Southern Illinois, but this is new. I don't want to say new territory, but it is something that we are seeing more prevalent in our communities and in our schools and whatnot. So what is the best way, the best practice for you, the two of you personally, to have an interaction with someone who may have questions, who may not know, who may identify your genders? What advice do you have to a student here, to a faculty member, to a staff member who maybe doesn't know the proper way to interact or engage?
Maybe to be patient. Maybe to research themselves, and also for us to tell them ourselves, be kind of like a teacher to the teachers, essentially. I think that's,
Do you feel like things have become more accepting in our small community here in Southern Illinois? Have things gotten better over the last few years, or where do you see things now?
I think it's gotten better, right? Yeah.
I would say it's gotten better. It's getting more accepting, and I know like at Anna they're hiring more people who aren't like, they're hiring people who are like someone who was married to a woman, so they are opening their opening their minds. But I think for people who are like worried or like don't know about LGBT stuff, they should just ask, because I'm really open about it. If you need to know, or if you want to know something, just ask me. I don't mind.
How, because I have, I do another podcast where I have had transgender guest on as well, and I feel like everybody kind of has the same mindset of communicate, and I think that goes beyond just our sexual preferences or our gender or our skin color. Communication would solve so many issues, I think, if people would just sit down and talk. And I know that sometimes people in the community get misidentified, misgendered. I think it probably is a two-way street where people who are in the community and people who are not, if we both just kind of took a little more time to be tolerant of one another, and we, you know, if you're not purposely misgendering someone or, doing those kinds of things, I think it goes a long way to at least understand, listen, and accept that not everybody is the same way. So what advice do you have to people who maybe are confused or not exactly sure how to identify you or even Elena for that matter?
I would just ask. Like, that's what it is. You just have to communicate and you have to ask.
It's only if they're willing to listen, because some people are not willing to listen.
Yeah.
But
what do you do in those situations? Just chalk it up to someone, because no matter what walk of life, there's going to be people that are just going to not listen or understand or don't want to listen or understand. So do you just move on?
I think you try, but if it doesn't go anywhere, then I guess that's just the way that person is, and there's not much you can do about it besides let them change it themselves.
Well, besides the club, the club is obviously an important part of this. When I say it's new, I think probably just in the last couple of years. Are you two of the founding members, or was it here when you guys started?
Well, it was being kind of like set up last year when I came here, but it wasn't officially a thing until really officially a thing. I think this semester.
Yeah, this semester is when we finally got it set up with the school as a club. We finally got it recognized as a club. Literally this semester.
We had meetings and such last semester, but we didn't really have many members. Not many people came, and it wasn't really officially recognized, like they said, till this year.
And Donna Price, I know, the counselor here at Shawnee Community College, the sponsor and advisor for the group. Talk to me a little bit about that. How do people get involved? How do people become a part of the club, whether they come to the meetings or they just want to show some kind of support?
I think it's just, if you just want to join, you join. It's not really a very heavy thing. It's just like, if you just want to come hang out and with just nice people and or have a safe space of some kind, that's kind of what we try to tell people, is it doesn't matter if you're in the community or not. Just if you want to join, then join. That's kind of the message that we try to tell people.
Do you have regular meetings, or what do you typically do?
We have meetings fairly often. Usually Wednesdays at 12. Usually, because kind of when everyone's really not as busy as most. But
yeah, I think if people want to join the club, that they can email Donna, because we have posters up with her email on it.
Yeah.
Or if you see one of us, you can always come up and talk to us. And yeah, but our meetings are twice a month. In online space.
Since the start of the semester, and we're about halfway through the semester now, the fall semester that is of 2024, I've definitely seen more visibility, the group, and there are other individuals who have been a part of it at our Fall Fest in September. You were doing face paintings and pictures and those kinds of things. What has the reception been so far that you've noticed from other students here on campus?
I think people just think it's cool. That's the simplest way to put it. I don't know.
Yeah, people have been really supportive, really great. The staff, teachers have been amazing with helping. We've been having a really good time so far.
What does it mean to have that kind of support that from people who are outside of the community? You talked about having allies. Talk to me a little bit about the importance of allies joining and being a part of the club too, and not just coming and making a donation at the table when you're set up in the cafeteria or something along those lines, but actually, they always say actions speak louder than words. So what can people not in the LGBTQ plus community do to show their support and be an ally?
they could just come to the meetings, honestly, because it's great to hear multiple people's ideas and opinions on the stuff that we were doing. Because yes, it's LGBT History Month this month, but it was founded by a straight teacher from Missouri, and if it wasn't for him, it would have never happened. So we need allies with us to build the community.
Elena, what are your thoughts on that?
I think sometimes people don't give allies enough credit because, like, they're called allies for a reason. They like, you know, they support us and they help us, and just because they are in the community doesn't mean they can't sympathize or try their best to understand. Like, it might be a bit more difficult for them, unlike someone who actually is in the community, because they might understand better. But at the end of the day, I think if you're just like, you know, if you have basic human like empathy and like, yeah, I think that's all you really need.
Aaron, I had asked Elena about plans beyond Shawnee Community College. What are your thoughts on the future once you leave here?
Well, I am graduating in the fall with my associates in arts and science this fall, but I will be coming back next spring and next fall because I want to be an OTA who works in nursing homes. I like the nursing homes environment. I want to work in that. So yeah, I should be coming back. Even though I'm graduating with my associates in arts and science, I should be coming back in the spring.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad to hear that you're going to continue on here at Shawnee Community College, and the OTA program, I guess since you brought it up, a cheap plug for that, it is in our Union County Extension Center in Anna, so that'll be closer to home for you too, I guess, huh?
Yep.
Do you, you know, I see the two of you on campus a lot, so obviously you're involved. Elena, I know that you ran for student trustee last year as well, so talk to me a little bit about that connection to the campus beyond just the club, the LGBTQ plus club. Talk to me a little bit about that importance of whether you're an athlete or, you know, PTK, whatever the passion may be. It's important to have that club to kind of fall back on when you're experiencing the college life.
Yeah, I agree. Like, it's just like I'm also in student senate, so like there's been times where like I hear ideas in the other meeting and then I take it to you know, student senate, and I think this shows like how connected, like how much the community is here, and I think that's probably one of the reasons why I like Shawnee so much, is because of that.
Having all those connections and stuff. Aaron, are you involved in anything else here on campus?
I actually this semester I joined PTK, and that's the only, and a history club. I'm also in a history club.
Did you go to the Ren Fair over the weekend?
Yes,
Okay, talk to me a little bit about that.
Oh my gosh, it was amazing. I've never been to one of those before in my life. I never thought I would, but like it was amazing. It was really hot though, so my costume, I was like an hour in, I was like taking it off. I was like, it ain't worth it.
I was gonna say it was a pretty warm weekend, and I know those Ren Fairs, the costumes get pretty elaborate. So
yeah, I know. I saw some people, and I was like, I don't know how you're doing it. It's too hot, but yeah, it was amazing to see. So much stuff. I wanted to buy so much stuff, but like I can't.
Well, you know, Shawnee Community College, obviously a very small campus. Diversity is part of the campus makeup here as well. With such a small campus, though, I imagine the club is small, but you know, we always look 5 years, 10 years down the road, especially here in the administrative level of the campus, as far as planning out and seeing what the future holds. What do you envision the future holds 5, 10 years down the road for the club? What would you like to see happen with the club?
I would like to see our club do more community-based like work. Work with like the small towns around here, maybe getting resources brought in, like places like Rainbow Calf, or we have a place in Anna called Airleaf or something, where they have like weekly or monthly meetings, I know, for support for people. So stuff like that I would really like to see in the community. Also, maybe our club could go to the high schools and help set up clubs there, or even just we can go there and meet up with people and even if they're not like exactly coming to like Shawnee, we can still have a support for them in high school. That'd be really great.
That's a very good and thoughtful answer. Elena, what are your thoughts on the future of the club? What would you like to see happen with the club here at Shawnee College?
Kind of what they said. It was this like doing fun things is, it's fun, of course, but like the thing that we really want to do is like community stuff and like to like help people, because like to show like people who might think stigmatize the community, like they have their own like bloated vision of what it is. It can show that we are just people who want to like help and like feel and want people have a sense of community in around here, because like sometimes that can be kind of hard for some.
Sure, absolutely, and we did mention that it is LGBTQ plus History Month. Aaron, you had mentioned the founder being someone who wasn't in the community originally and created that space and this recognition for the month. Any others that kind of stand out to you or that have inspired you to do better and to do things here on campus to make it a safer place for those who are in the community?
I don't know, there's so many out there that have done just amazing things. Like, for them to be so brave to take a step out when no one else was willing, it gives me goosebumps. Like, it's amazing, and I kind of want to be one of those people, because I, from Anna, like always like never saw anyone like me or felt like anyone was like me growing up. So that's what I want to give people now, is I want to be one of those people who are like not a founder, but like someone who helped. Yeah.
If you don't mind me asking, and again, if I get too personal, please just we'll move on. But Elena has referred to you as they a few times. Your name is Aaron, and spelled the traditional male way of Aaron. So talk a little bit about your identity.
Okay. I'm non-binary, so I use they/them pronouns. And do you want me to explain like what it is?
I do. I think there's a lot of people, and myself, who peripherally understands non-binary, but for folks who maybe don't know or understand, talk a little bit about that.
So pretty much, this is how I feel towards it and why I use it. I feel as I do not fit into either ideas of male or female. I follow both, and I follow none at the same time. I'm just my own person. I'm just a human living. So to me, I feel like using they/them feels like the best. It makes sense. And I've always wanted to, I always knew I was different in that idea, even though I always played sports growing up. I played sports in high school, so I couldn't come out because they would treat me, sadly, really disrespectfully. And you can't, because I am born as a female, I had to play female sports, which is fine, I don't mind. But I knew that I couldn't come out and approach it yet in that idea, because they were not ready for that in sports yet. But yes, I am non-binary, and pretty much I just don't feel like I follow either female or male gender roles. So
were you out? You were out of high school then when you
I came out my senior year as soon as my basketball season ended. I was like, I'm tired of having to lie about it. I'm ready.
I imagine that's a huge relief.
Oh my gosh, it was. It was it felt like all the fears and the scared and the sadness I had my whole life finally just was let go, and I was so happy. And I do go by Aaron with 2 A's because my father was going to name me Aaron if I was, he was going to name me Aaron, but my mom beat him to it. But yeah, so I go by Aaron.
And, when you were able to do, to come out and be your authentic self and hopefully lead an example for those who are confused or maybe not ready to do that, but I think a lot of times, no matter what the news is, when we have something that is perceived as being bad news, we build it up in our head and are probably more anxious about it than what it really is. Yeah. Did you find that to be the case? Was it more in your head as far as being putting this out there that it was going to be much worse than what it actually the reality when you came out?
Honestly, I really didn't care at that point. I was kind of just, at the time of my life, I was like, I just turned 18, I'm finally an adult, I can finally say what I want to say, and
Repercussions?
Yes, are going to be put on me from the school, from my fellow like teammates, from my coach, from like, there's no one can do anything to me anymore. I'm finally able to. So I wasn't scared. I was so like, I was just ready. I already was past that point of scared.
Yeah. Elena, same question for you, if you don't mind, and if you'd rather not discuss it, we don't have to.
Yeah, we can discuss it.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about, I've known you, or you have gone by Lane and now Elena, so talk to me a little bit about your gender identity.
Well, it was actually a little after I came here, I realized that I may be a woman, not a man, because, but honestly, I've had these feelings for probably a very long time, but I don't think I fully understood them. And I think like 2 years ago was whenever I fully understood them, but at the time, I didn't think it was possible, or like it was like it was just, it seemed like it was a distant prospect, like it wouldn't be possible to do. But then eventually it became such a problem that I couldn't ignore it, and eventually I actually talked to Donna when these thoughts first came, and she's actually helped me a lot. Even told me about the place that I went to actually talk to like a doctor about it, and the whole thing about Elena, because originally I wasn't going to change my name, because the thing is about my old name is that it's actually a unisex name, but kind of the reason why I changed the name was because basically like forming like a new identity of sorts, and like also to like let people know like, hey, like give the idea. And it's funny because literally Elena is legit is one extra E and then mixed up together it's my old name. So that definitely had some influence. But yeah, I'm actually in the process of my transition right now, and I've been on estrogen pills for about 6 months now. I think it's been about 6 months. I'm actually going to go talk about surgery and stuff next month. So I am pretty far in, and it's unfortunate because a lot of people aren't able to get to this point, and I'm very fortunate to get to this point because like either it's money, insurance, family, whatnot. Everyone seems to have obstacles and with this, and it's just like it's very important because it's like it's just about being who you are, like as a person, like just to be who you really are.
Right.
And some people think it's not normal or whatever, but in reality it's us trying our best to be our normal selves and not act like a certain way like people expect us to. You
were being abnormal before.
Yeah.
Really, I mean, if you're not following your authentic and true self. So, what are your pronouns?
Oh, my pronouns are she/her.
Okay.
And it's definitely been some problem for some people, but at the same time, I try to be patient with people. I don't really get angry. Maybe the only time I've gotten angry in the past is if they've known for a while, and I'm just and like I'm like, okay, like you need to at least like try better at this point.
Sure.
Like, but I always try to be very patient with people because like I know it can be kind of like whoa, like out of nowhere. Because like especially whenever most people I told, they they were very surprised. Funny enough, most people who weren't surprised were trans themselves.
Really?
And it was funny because my trans friend it told me it called me an egg, and an egg is like basically a trans person who doesn't know they're trans yet, and basically whenever they do realize it, the egg cracks.
Okay.
And at the time I didn't know what it meant, and I was like, what? It called me an egg? And I was like, and then I was like, months and months went by, and I was like, oh, now I finally understand. So yeah, it's been a wild experience, especially with it happening so soon after starting college. So, and that has been kind of hard, but I'm still here. So,
were you keeping it in because of the pressures of being a teenager in high school and life in that realm?
I think that was one of the reasons, especially at AJ. There's definitely tons of support there, but at the same time, there's tons of people who don't support it. Actually, it got so bad that I think the news got called. It was for basically this petition that was going around about keeping us normal people in the bathrooms, because there was a topic of gender neutral bathrooms for transgender students, and they were literally threatening to beat transgender students up as they were walking into the school. And didn't you say you had to walk some of them to school?
Yeah. Yes, we had to walk the freshmen around the school because they were afraid. I didn't get threatened by that, at least. I was threatened outside of school by people, fellow students, but yeah, in school they were starting to jump in the stairwells or in certain places that don't have cameras. So we did walk in groups around. Mostly, my senior year, mostly the younger kids, because the younger kids were the ones that were getting threatened the most for some reason. Yeah.
But that support here, the club, it's all tied together here, and that's why they just want to have their voices heard. They want to be in a safe place, and they want to provide a safe place for everyone, really. It's not just those that are in the community. We all want to feel safe to go to school or to go to work or to go, live in our communities and be with our family and friends. So not to put words in your mouths, but I'm guessing that at the end of the day, you just want that acceptance and that level of feeling safe in your own skin, but also feeling safe in your own communities.
Yeah, we're just humans trying to live like everyone else, not really different than anyone else. We all want the same thing.
Sure. Anything else the two of you want to add before we wrap up this week's episode?
I think that's it.
All right. Elena, Aaron, thank you both so much for coming on. This was, I know that you are two of the, I don't want to say faces of the club, but you are the president and vice president respectively. And so people will follow you around and see, after seeing this, know that you're the ones to kind of reach out to. So I appreciate you taking the time and the effort to put it out there and make others aware that there is a club here on campus. And again, if you want to learn more about the LGBTQ Plus Club, the community here at Shawnee Community College, you can go to our website. We'll have the link on the write-up for this week's podcast, whether on YouTube or in the podcast notes on Spotify, and you can get more information. Reach out to Donna Price as well. And as always, you can email me right at podcasts@shawneecc.edu. Thanks so much for listening and or watching to this week's episode. We will talk again soon.